Walmart is all over this. Walmart's like joining forces, or at least someone who has a 1.9% stake in Walmart. 1.9% stake in Walmart. That would be, Ms. Walton, Christy Walton. She is the widow of John Walton. You know, the founder, of course, being Sam Walton. So she's got a 1.9% stake in the company. So you can imagine that, you know what, her portfolio might be suffering just a bit, given the tariffs with China. I mean, she needs all those Chinese goods coming in super cheap, right? So that everybody can buy them at Walmart. I mean, I'm not saying she's motivated by money or anything. Maybe she just purely cannot stand one Donald Trump, but she is a big backer, if you would, of this whole No Kings thing. She even took out a big ad in the New York Times. Do you shop at Walmart? Carrie Lake would like to know. Do you guys shop at Walmart? Maybe not anymore, right? So this is the risk now, that they're going to face a Target-style, Bud Light-style, Disney-style boycott. I mean, I guess you can get your stuff on Amazon, probably just as cheap. And then you don't even have to leave you don't even have to leave your couch, right? You can just do it on Amazon. And Bezos is smart. He's not carrying on like this, but she's a family member, and I think that this is very risky, actually, for the company. And probably something that she should have stayed out of, unless she's just really concerned about how much money it's going to cost the family overall. Concerned just like the Chinese are concerned, and thinking, oh, maybe we can do a little you-know-what to kind of stir things up. I mean, again, I would direct you to this New York Times piece, because they did an excellent job explaining how this gentleman, alongside his wife, who is the founder of Code Pink, and they're the ones that, you know, cause all the ruckus in a lot of the congressional hearings. She used to be very anti-China because she was all worried about the Uyghurs there in China. And obviously it's a humanitarian disaster what's going on. But then, you know, she met Neville and he gave her millions of dollars for Code Pink. And suddenly, what do you know? They're pro-China. Dun-dun-dun. Money talks, even for communists, apparently. So we'll see what happens with Walmart. I do think that people are kind of fed up, shall we say, fed up with the whole thing. Are they not? You know, I think we're going to have coverage over the weekend. I want to make sure you subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. But stay tuned. One of our team members is actually going to be down in D.C. for this shindig. And if it's interesting, we should make sure to go to him. I think that, you know, the reality is, they're looking for some kind of problem here, and we don't want them to get it, because we want peace, and we want to make sure that everything is as peaceful as possible. Just to what Caroline was saying, we support the First Amendment, we support peaceful protest, but we do not support what we've seen in, you know, look, places like Newark, New Jersey, or places like California. And we don't want to have to get into the Insurrection Act. But you know what? He'll do it. He'll do it. And he's already got one judge that said, you know what? You got Title 10 U.S. Code 12406. So if things get too out of hand in New York, Letitia, oh, this could be her big moment, right, guys? Letitia's probably like salivating. She's like, oh, you know what? If I can sue him for this, I mean, I'll tell you, you've already got Eric Adams, who's on the side, if you would, of the president. So I have a feeling he would be working with him. But again, he's the mayor. He's not the governor. So Kathy Hochul, AG Letitia James, they're thinking this is our moment in the sun as well. What are these people trying to do, really? I mean, they really are trying to sow a lot of chaos, all in the name of hating on Donald Trump. Again, I remind you how we started the show with Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders used to be really anti-open borders. You had Barack Obama sending home more migrants than any other president had in history. And then all of a sudden, just because it's Donald Trump, we're going to stand in the face of this? It's very strange, but it's very selfish, and it's very politically motivated. And I think you can't get away from any of that, unfortunately, in this environment. You know what? We got a market that's reacting, of course, to some of the international news going on. Lots of international news going on, of course. You saw the news between Iran and Israel last night. And as such, you can anticipate that Gold prices rose overnight, and we saw oil prices rising. Donald Trump is warning of perhaps more attacks if we do not see some kind of nuclear deal with Iran. We have a market. Actually, you know what? I would say that they're taking it in stride. I spoke earlier with Rob Horton, my partner at 76 Research, this morning, and one of the things that Rob pointed out was that, look, in the light of everything, the markets are taking it extremely, extremely well. 76research.com, code word dollar. I just want to point out, we got a Dow that's off 1%, S&P off 0.4%. You're heading into a weekend, so you would think normally that would cause people to have even more concern, but they seem to be okay with it. Why? Because I think they actually think that this is all being managed. We have a dollar that is still relatively strong. We've got crude oil trading up 5.7%. That's a reflection of concern, ladies and gentlemen, about oil prices. And don't forget, one of the keys to lower inflation, right, is lower oil prices. So that's, something to watch. Of course, we've got gold prices rising 34.48, nearing their, again, all-time record on gold. Silver prices going alongside for the ride. Bitcoin, of course, really interesting to watch because Bitcoin had been trading off as this news unfolded last night between Israel and Iran, and we're continuing to see Bitcoin trade. Actually, it's covered a little bit. It was down to like 103 or so, I think, last night. It's at $105,804 per coin right now. So Bitcoin kind of weathering the storm in an interesting way. We just had a piece on that the other day there at 76 Research. I encourage you to go there, use my code word dollar. And again, I'm going to be back over the weekend. Make sure you subscribe if you would. Do your part, make a comment. I mean, what do you think? Are you shopping at Walmart? One, under the circumstances. And was that okay for Padilla to storm the stage? I think you're with me on that one. But let me know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I read them all. I really do. Thank you all for being here, and we will continue the discussion live again right here on the Trish Regan channel tomorrow.